Hey, stop that.
That's the cat. It's exciting. It's really exciting.
Hello, Lovies. Today we are talking about Society for Neuroscience and my experience at this year's annual conference. So stay tuned for all the gist.
What's up? What's up, beautiful people? Oh my gosh, I hope you guys missed me because I sure did. Hello and welcome to my channel. The name is Tato, so welcome to Life and Tea. The T is for my name. T is also for travel, which is what I love doing. T is also for all of the tea I spill on this channel.
Ooh.
Because you know, guys, you know, I tell you all the details. I let you in. I show you live. You know, this is how we do on this channel. So if you are new, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you are part of the family, welcome back. So guys, the last time that I filmed one of these, I was still in the US and now I am back in Japan. The girl is back in Japan, honey. She is back. She is back in Japan.
Welcome home.
One of the first things that I did when I came back was essentially get my hair done because, you know, the fro had been out for a while and don't I look cute? Don't I look cute? Oh my gosh. Can we just take a moment? Can we just take a moment? Look at me, guys. Can we just say, you look lovely? If you're still here and if you were not turned off by me shamelessly adoring myself, please say in the comment section, give me a compliment, give me a flower emoji. Give me a flower emoji if you think my hairstyle is nice. I have to lay these edges though. I haven't laid these edges. I might as well do that. But otherwise, I look cute, honey. Look at that. I look very cute. You know what my hairstylist... Wait, hold on. Actually, when she was done, she was like, okay, now it's time for you to go find that Japanese boyfriend. I guess she's been watching my videos. Anyway, enough about that. I am cute and that's it. You know, I'm happy to be on low maintenance hairstyle. Anyone with an afro knows that we love the fro, but it does demand a bit of work each and every morning, each and every night. So sometimes it's just good to do these like low maintenance type of hairstyles so that, you know, variety is the spice of life, right? Yeah. Anyway, what I want to talk to you guys about today is my American trip, but more focusing on SfN, which is the Society for Neuroscience, which was the core of why I went to America in the first place. And by America, I mean the United States of America, North America, planet Earth. You know, so I made a video about 2 weeks ago just showcasing like all the fun stuff that I got to do in San Diego as a first timer in America. I took that opportunity and I maximized it, and I was just like, I'm gonna tour, I'm gonna see all these top 5, top 10 listed places, things to do in California. Well, in San Diego. California is big. Much to my surprise, California is really big. So we didn't even get time to go to like San Francisco, like Hollywood and LA and all that stuff. We were predominantly in San Diego, but I did have fun. And if you haven't watched that video yet, I'm going to link it up in the description cards above, and also maybe down in the description below. Yeah, you guys should definitely go watch that video. I think it's a lot of fun. And if you haven't been to San Diego and you want sort of like an itinerary, this is the video to watch, because you know your girl always does it. I'm here for it. Anyways, so SfN, right? I went to a conference called the Society for Neuroscience. It's the annual meeting that happens every single year in November. The dates change a little bit. It seems to me like they always start on Saturday and it ends on a Wednesday of the second week or so. So the conference was from the 11th to the 15th, 16th of November. And it was a whole vibe. It was such a vibe. Okay, so first things first, let's begin with what is SfN. So SfN is basically a society of all neuroscientists around the world. It's not a mandatory it's not mandatory that if you're a neuroscientist you have to be part of the society, but a lot of neuroscientists are, and this is one that basically you have members from all parts of the world. You have members from other different regional organizations, because there are some local and regional neuroscience organizations like the Japan Neuroscience Society. There's the Federation of European Neuroscientists, which is FENS, and other local regions. There's one in Africa called wait, hold on. I forgot. I've seen it somewhere on the internet, but I forgot what it's called.
That was embarrassing.
But basically you have these continental ones, you have the country-based ones, but all of them together, they make up SfN. You can sign up for a membership. Membership pretty much lasts for about 2 calendar years, and then you have to renew it. Your girl has to renew her membership this year, otherwise. So when you do have membership, you get discounts on the registration for the next meeting. But what the membership provides you is all types of things like learning opportunities, scholarship opportunities, mentorship. There's a lot of like resources on their websites that you can use. You also get to view a lot of the there's like webinars and things you get to view even after the conference. If you had missed some of the big lectures, like the presidential lectures, you can simply log in with your membership details, your badge IDs, and then just like look at those. So there's a lot of perks to becoming a member of SfN, but at the same time it is expensive still. So I worry about like access for this membership to people from low and middle income countries. I doubt that there's a lot of members from these types of countries, just because membership is kind of expensive. So yeah, like I'm lucky that I'm in a lab that, you know, promotes us being part of these communities, so that we get access to the networks and such. And so my lab pays for all of us to become members in the society. Okay, that is SfN. So they host one meeting per year where people come and they present their work. So these meetings, I'm explaining this because I have a lot of friends who are not scientists. I have a lot of friends who are not neuroscientists. And so if you feel like, oh, this is, you know, boring, this is too basic, you can jump ahead, skip ahead, and, you know, I'll be done with the explanation part. But I just feel like for my friends who might not know what the point is or what the big deal is about SfN, I just want to do like due diligence. By the way, I will give a disclaimer. I am not an ambassador of SfN. I am not, you know, promoting it in any way. I'm not saying any of these stuff because I was sent by SfN. This is my take on it as a neuroscientist, and everything that I'm saying in this video is my opinion. So you can fact check me if you want, and also just don't take this as like, you know, legal or like official promotion for SfN. No, honey, no. So it's a meeting where neuroscientists come together and they present their work. There are different formats of presenting one's work, and there are poster sessions, which is where, you know, like how in high school in the science club we used to have those posters during science fair, during the science fair in high school. I hope like, yes, the posters, the quiz, all of those things. So yeah, there's like poster sessions, and this is probably one of the biggest platforms for people to share their work. It's basically like you design a poster that's like one slide of your entire work, and you have your background, your results, your conclusions, and your future directions. That's typically how people organize them. You've got your graphs, and everything is on that one poster. Then there's presidential lectures, which are the big lectures. They take about an hour, and at this SfN, I don't know if this is typical for all SfNs, we had presidential lectures at lunchtime and then another one during the evening. So each day there was somebody who was selected by the SfN president to give a lecture. Pretty much these are big shot scientists, Nobel laureates, or people who've been doing neuroscience for like decades and decades, and they have a wealth of knowledge to be sharing with us. Some of them were previous presidents of SfN, the society itself. Some of them were Nobel laureates, as I've mentioned. These are like top-notch people that, their research is making such a big impact in their field. And in a way, their research can also be, how do I put it? Their research is also kind of broad enough that it is of interest to most neuroscientists. So one of the presidential lectures was about the importance of sleep. So irrespective of what field you're working on, sleep is such a huge deal, right? So what it means for us, the physiological mechanisms of...
Hey, stop that.
That's the cat. The physiological mechanisms as well as the neural underpinnings of sleep, and what we know about sleep based off of studies that have been done in lab animals, right? So stuff like this, that is like super broad, memory, and what an engram is and stuff like that. And then you have symposia, which are more thematic talks. So in a symposia, you have 4 or 5 researchers who are gathered, and all of their research is kind of under like one umbrella type thing. And there's a moderator. They speak for about 20-25 minutes. They get 5 minutes or 10 minutes of Q&A depending on how it's being organized. It's typically like 20 minutes talk, 10 minutes Q&A sort of thing. And you go there because the symposia is on a particular topic. So one of the symposia I attended was about post modifications in seizures. So I researched temporal lobe epilepsy, which results in convulsive seizures in humans and in animals alike. So one of the symposia was specifically about how we can intervene within the latent period of temporal lobe epilepsy. And a lot of the speakers were talking about like senescent cells ablation or closed loop stimulation techniques to kind of prevent the disease from going from latency to chronicity. You don't have to understand that, it's okay, but I'm just trying to tell you like kind of the themes that were around that. There's themes around stroke, there's themes around Alzheimer's disease, there's themes around hippocampal network organization, spatial navigation, so many things, right? So what do we have? We have posters, we have symposia, we have presidential lectures. There's also mini symposia, which are similar to the normal symposia, but maybe shorter or like with fewer people. To be honest, I don't even know, but I know there is a distinction between the mini symposia and the big symposia. Then you've got the social events, like the networking events, which happen during the evenings. So this is where like different groups of neuroscientists, no longer classified by their themes per se of research, but sometimes classified by like nationality, ethnicity. They will gather around in the hotels nearby and then have a social night. It's basically like a meet and greet. People have some finger foods and they have alcohol or non-alcoholic drinks, and then they get to chat, give each other their business cards and such. So there was like Taiwanese neuroscience night, Chinese neuroscience night, Black in Neuro, computational neuroscience. They had like a whole party. There was a vibe. So many things. Like each and every night there was a social event, and you could, some of them... Can you guys see the cat? Umi. Hi, baby. Hi. Don't run away. Come on. Hi. Hey. Hey. Hi. Okay. It turns out the cat doesn't really want to be in my video, so I take that as disrespectful and offensive.
I've never been treated like this.
And so I am not even gonna pay him any attention. I just close the door.
Sometimes love hurts.
So yeah, you have all these platforms that are meant for you to either learn, absorb, or share and engage with other neuroscientists, and some of them are more formal and the others are less formal, and that's kind of the organization of the day. So your girl was presenting a poster and it was on the first day. Gosh, I was nervous, but I was excited. I was excited to share my work, but I was nervous about the feedback I would get. It was my first time at SfN in person because, it's been so much of online meetings in the past couple of years. Yeah, like last year I attended online and I didn't give a presentation at all. So this year was my first time presenting at SfN, first time SfN in person. It was a lot of people, guys. It was a lot of people. Like, I think at the peak there was 49 neuroscientists in that convention center. They kept updating the numbers every morning, and to include online participants and in-person participants. So guys, yeah, you can imagine just having those many people. Obviously, it doesn't mean all 24,000 people are gonna come at your poster. There's thousands of posters, or maybe hundreds, I don't know. Let's say between hundreds and thousands of posters. So you get your own crowd, which is made up of people who are interested in your work, or maybe people who just know you and want to show you moral support. Thanks to all the OIS people who came around to my poster. Thank you so much. But also thank you to all the new friends I made, because now the people who I met on that day one and I got to share my work with turn out to be people whose work I have read about or whose work I follow. And this was very nice to kind of engage with them and put their face to their name sort of situation. It's it's exciting. It's really exciting. It's almost like meeting a celebrity, but not really, but almost very accessible celebrity. Ciao. I don't know. I'm still excited. I'm still riding this wave of SfN. It's such a total vibe. Okay, let me not get ahead of myself. So I was presenting a poster. It was on day one. I was nervous, but my boss and the two girls I had traveled with, who you guys have seen in my video, they were really helpful. They gave me moral support. They gave me water when I needed it, because it turns out my poster was super popular, and although we're only meant to stand at our poster for an hour out of the 4 hours of which the poster is hung up, I was there for the whole 4 hours and some change, because there was this one guy who came towards the end and he wouldn't stop talking. He was really excited about my work, and it was exciting to talk to somebody who's excited about my work and who knows what he's talking about, It went better than I expected, because in my head somehow I thought maybe people are gonna be mean, or they're gonna poke holes at my research. Or it turns out neuroscientists are really nice. And by neuroscientists, I mean both graduate students and also their bosses, like the PIs, are really nice. So I didn't really have anything to worry about. But when it's your first time doing something, you simply just don't know what to expect, no matter how much people have told you about it. But it's still until you experience it yourself, you just don't know.
One hour later.
Ow. Gotta stay hydrated. I've got to stay hydrated. So the next thing I want to talk about then is the fact that after day one, it went well. I felt really relieved, and I was like, wow, now I can enjoy the rest of the conference. I can go and visit other people's posters, which is something I couldn't do on day one because I was standing at my poster the whole time, because there were people the whole time and I was talking the whole time. And yeah, I really needed water that day, and thank goodness like my people were there and like providing me with whatever I needed. Anyways, the conference continued, and basically we have this app which is supposed to help you plan your navigation around the conference center. You can organize your day according to that plan and see which meetings, which symposia, which poster sessions you want to go to, right? So I found that this was super helpful, and could not have done, you know, that conference without the app, because it is a lot. It's a lot of people, it's a lot of meetings which are happening simultaneously, and you know, you just can't. And sometimes you walk into a symposia and you thought it was going to be exciting, but it turns out maybe it's boring, or it's stuff you know about, or maybe it's completely unrelated and the title was a bit misleading. So now you want to move on to like a different room. So finding it on the app, so easy. And even though the San Diego Convention Center is like super big, I found that I could still manage my time well and manage like all the symposia and things that I wanted to attend pretty well. So I am happy about that. I think that they did well with the app, sure. So then I want to move on and talk about like sort of the things that I took away and like what I learned, what I saw, right? So the first thing is that it was a really beautiful opportunity to meet people who I already follow. I kind of mentioned this briefly before. So what I mean is like during our normal days, our normal work, we're reading a lot of papers. We do a lot of journal clubs in the labs that we're in. And if you are doing a specific kind of research, you tend to follow certain groups of researchers who are also doing that kind of research. And so you know their names, you know their work, and predominantly your research plan as a PhD student is based off of someone else's work, right? And what was beautiful was just meeting those professors and those graduate students who have kind of laid the foundation for your own work. You guys can follow me on Twitter. Like my Twitter is TM_ my surname, which is Mohotu. I'll put it up here because I've already put up pictures of some of the people that I met, and I feel like I prefer for them to just stay on Twitter. Maybe I'll put some of the pictures here. I don't know, but in case I don't, then please just follow me on my other social media where I've already put up those pictures. So I met with a lot of professors like who have inspired me to, you know, continue pursuing my own work. So Professor Ray Dingledine, for example, it turns out he was presenting a poster just 2 posters away from me, and that was magical how we met. And then Professor Esther Crook Magnuson, she wasn't there, but her lab members were there, and I got to meet them, and that was just like so wholesome, really wholesome, because I'm like, I know you guys, I know what you do, it's amazing, like, I got so excited. And your girl is not shy about asking for a picture, hey? Like for me, these people are awesome. They're basically magician, celebrity, everything in one for me. And I was not shy about asking for a picture. I am such a groupie. I am the one to be like, would you like to have a picture with me? Can we take a selfie? You know, I am not shy about that at all. So I do have those memories with me now. So yeah, my point is I met people and that was amazing. Secondly, it was really nice to have so many people who know what I'm doing. So my university is quite small, right? We have about 80 something research labs, and not all of them are neuroscience labs. We have physics, chemistry, and all that stuff. So fewer neuroscience labs, but also even fewer labs working with epilepsy. Actually, our lab is the only one that I know of. Well, there was that other postdoc last year. Never mind. Okay, so maybe we're one of 2 labs that have experience with epilepsy and temporal lobe epilepsy specifically. And you can imagine that it's hard to find somebody to really have in-depth discussions with. Oh God.
Kinda struggling a little bit.
It's hard to find somebody to have really in-depth discussions with except for my PI. You know, like he knows my project in and out, so that's great. We have one-on-one discussions each and every week. But at the same time, it would be nice for me to have somebody that I can bounce off ideas, somebody maybe who's had more experience in the past. So it was really nice to meet with people whose labs are predominantly only about epilepsy, and we can talk about, you know, challenges that we're having, how to solve them, what to do next, how to interpret the results that we've gotten, so on and so forth, right? So that was like number 2, beautiful interactions, and also kind of related to that, also beautiful feedback, because then people were able to like point out to me certain things that I wasn't considering or could be considering for the future directions. And that was really, really awesome, like to just get feedback and insights from people who are thinking ahead and kind of already know what might lie ahead. So that was really, really awesome. Number 4 is I learned a lot. Like, I mean, I have a notebook that is simply filled with all the learnings and things, my notes from all of the symposia and poster sessions that I attended, because your girl was diligent. I mean, I'm on a trip, I'm having fun, yes, but I'm gonna learn, okay? That's kind of how I view it.
How much Adderall are you on?
It was a lot of information compacted in a very short amount of time. So as to whether I remember everything or not, we don't know. But your girl took notes, so she can refer back to the stuff that she learned, and that's beautiful. And I feel like it's a lot more than I would have gained reading papers every week. This was like very dense. It was very, very dense. And I loved that. It was like a whole different vibe. So that was like number 4, one of the best things I took away from the conference. And 5th but not least is the fact that there are a lot of vendors, okay? Like, this is like a weird one kind of, because it doesn't have to do with the science, but there are a lot of vendors who are showcasing their latest products, latest software, equipment, and they're there because they want, you know, us to buy into their product. And some of them we already use, you know, like Thermo Fisher. Everybody uses Thermo Fisher, and so why not get a t-shirt from them? So yeah, they have a lot of merch that they are not selling. They're giving away a lot of merch in addition to wanting to advertise the actual product, right? So your girl got so many pens. Like, I have like a stack of pens, guys, from conferences. I am never running out of pens. And look at this one. Isn't this just gorgeous? This is like like a spine or something. This is just gorgeous. And I also got one of the fattest pens I've ever seen. I got it because it's so fat. I'm not even sure how I'm supposed to hold it to write, but I got it because it just looked funny to me. But yeah, some of them are like normal pens just with like company logos and stuff like that, you know, which is great. I write a lot. I do tend to write a lot of notes. I'm an old school girl. I mean, I do type some of my notes, but I tend to write more than I type. My leg hurts. Oh, fuck. So yeah, a lot of vendors are giving away their merchandise, and that's beautiful because we came back with lots and lots and lots of stuff. You see that tote bag over there? That was from a company called Good Wolf, and you know, I love their conversation. They gave me a tote bag. I came back with like 5 tote bags and like 30 pens. Well, no. Maybe 15 pens. So that was like another big takeaway. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's not a small thing. Let's get all the pens in the world that we can get. Why not? All in all, SfN is awesome for learning, for networking, and all of that stuff. Attending SfN in real life is so different from attending SfN in online on Zoom or whatever. So I urge, if you're a neuroscientist and you're like, I don't want to meet people, I don't want to, you know, I think just once every neuroscientist has to experience what SfN is like. I've been telling my friends this over the past week since I've been back. I'm like, guys, you have to go to SfN. And I know some people are like, well, I don't like big conferences because, you know, the topics are so broad. You don't get theme specific feedback. No, you can. You have to attend the symposia that is geared towards that theme. And then also, if you like, you can also attend the social nights, which are geared towards that particular theme, or just make an effort to meet the people you want to meet. You don't have to attend 100% of the meetings. You can just set up your meetings aside and have lunch with your favorite professor. So I think it is what you make it to be. And I think that just experiencing that and even going to those field adjacent topics, you can learn so much. I mean, I don't know. I'm not the kind of scientist that wants to just, I mean, it's fun to narrow down and zoom down into my topic, but I also find that knowing what other people are doing kind of around my topic helps me have more of like a bird's eye view of my research and the kind of impact it can have. So yes, go for SfN at least once in your life. Have an SfN experience.
Do it! Just do it!
Me, I'm planning to go next year. I don't know about you. But me, I am going next year. I don't care how. Yay! I'm going to SfN because it was such a vibe, okay? And as I said, this is not to promote SfN. This is just, I'm excited about the experience that I had, and I'm sure that next year is going to be a different experience, but still an experience I want to have. The last thing is, I should have mentioned this at the beginning. So like the way that they organize SfN meetings annually, they only take place in 3 cities in the world, in 1 country in the world. So it's in the US, it's in the United States of America. And I don't know why, but I presume it's just because historically that's how it's been done. And also the society was founded in the US. So I guess just keeping it home, which, you could argue that it makes it less accessible for people who need visas and flights. And, it's just like, yeah, it's difficult. And again, I feel privileged that, I mean, I'm one of those people that did definitely need a visa to go to the United States, but I feel privileged in the sense like my school supports our visa applications and, we get conference travel support and things like that. So it's very, very lucky. I imagine that it's not the same in other institutions. And so some people might miss the meeting, not because they want to miss the meeting, but because they simply cannot financially afford it, right? So they take place in Chicago, Washington, D.C., and San Diego. And so this year, it was the San Diego edition. Next year, they're taking it to D.C., and the following year will be in Chicago. And I plan on attending in D.C. By the time Chicago comes, it's possible I will have graduated, God willing, knock on wood. So maybe I won't attend, or I will attend as a postdoc if I decide to stay in academia. We'll see about that, but definitely DC I am attending. So if you will be in DC around November 11th to 16th next year, let's hang out. All right, so I think this is all that I wanted to share about my experience with SfN. And if you have any questions about San Diego, questions about SfN, questions about being a neuroscientist or what it is I actually do, please do not hesitate to comment in the comment section, ask me any questions, and then I will answer, or even just DM me on my social media. Please don't send me those messages that are like, hi, hello. Just ask me a question if you want to ask me a question, and then let's move on, So yeah, I hope that you made it till the end. If you have, give me a thumbs up emoji in the comment section. Give me a thumbs up emoji in the comment section if you made it till this point. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I hope that I inspired you. If you're a neuroscientist, let's go to SfN next year. If you are not a neuroscientist, join neuroscience. I mean, I'm kidding. Other sciences also have really prestigious, conferences and such. But I think the stats will show you SfN amongst the academic conferences is actually one of the biggest in the world. Bigger than physics, bigger than, because there's just so many of us, there's so many of us. It's like behavioral neuroscience, experimental, clinical, systems neuroscience, so many things. Oh God, computational. Don't forget the computational people, and yeah, theoretical people. I still don't know what the difference is. Like theoretical neuroscience and computational neuroscience. Somebody tell me. Me, I'm a systems neuroscience and I focus on neurological disorders. So please, yeah, I do experiments. I do experimental neuroscience. Pew, pew. Anyways, guys, I get way too excited when I talk about this kind of stuff, which is why I don't share so much about my academics on this channel. But do let me know if you would like me to share, like, you know, what I do in a day as a neuroscientist and like what my topic of research is and stuff like that. I'll be more than happy to share, as you can see. But right now I gotta bounce, I gotta go. So if you haven't watched that video that I made showcasing my trip to San Diego, make sure to look at it. I will link it up again here. And yeah, again, you know, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, share this video with your friends, share it. Sharing is caring, guys. Sharing is caring. Subscribing is free, you know? Let's make sure that we hit the new year with 200 subscribers. I'm going to challenge you. We're only 5 people away. So if you are one of those 5 people that are watching my videos, hey, without being subscribed, what are you waiting for, hey? Let's enter the new year with a new number, okay? Let's hit that 200 mark and get in the new year with 200 subscribers. Oh, guys, after that performance, you definitely have to subscribe now, you see? Thank you. Love you. Bye.